this is the story, okay? So again, please stay with me to understand what the heck is going on. This is not a joke. This is a real situation, okay? And I don't know how else to tell you that. But I'm gonna tell you right now. The whole story happened around 5 o'clock in the morning, and the sound wakes me up, okay? I open my eyes, and you have to understand, when you just wake up, you're just as good as a potato, because you just can't think. So basically my eyes are open, but I can hear what's going on, and I can see what's going on too. So what really happened? I'm hearing this sound. Stay with me here. I'm hearing this sound, a beeping sound that sounded like a fax machine, sound of a fax machine, and I can say almost for certain 100% it sounds like a fax machine. And I have a fax machine, but it's in a shed because it's just something that's out of date, and I haven't been using it for like years. Okay, so there's no fax machine in here, but the thing sounded like a fax machine. And the high end, the high-pitched sound that you hear on a fax machine, not in between the screechy noise in between, but the high-pitched sound sounded like a phone off the hook. The beep, 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 that sound. So you're mixing that sound with the fax machine, and you're getting something like random beeping sound, but in between you're hearing this screechy sound, okay, of a fax machine. So, and that's how it sounded like, and I can say almost 110% that it produced that kind of sound of a fax machine combination with the phone off the hook. So last time I mentioned that, and I said it sounded like mechanical, so I should have corrected myself. It sounded more electronical, digital sound, okay? And what I should have done is to look up this whole situation. It just didn't hit me. I just, went on I made a video in case something like this has happened to you and you're searching for this information, and perhaps you can explain what happened. So I've done it, but I've done it after the video, which maybe wasn't the best idea. I should have looked it up first, and I did, and voila, there was all kinds of information about beeping UFOs. I even talked about it before in my previous video about how, in one of the Steven Greer's video, there's a lady with him, and she says, oh yeah, we see these UFOs all the time. There's some UFOs right there. They're going beep, 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 toot, toot, toot. And that's when it hit me, okay? That's when I thought I should look up beeping UFOs, when she mentioned that. And that was just strange, because it happened maybe a week after I looked that up. I came across it, but I wasn't looking for beeping UFO. So think about that. Is that a coincidence or what? I was just watching Steven Greer to get some more info on things, and this lady starts saying about how they're making this beeping noise, and I'm like, what? And that's when I think I started making the video, because that's when it hit me. Okay, well, there's some serious connection here. Because yes, I just woke up, so kind of, maybe it was a dream or something. But when she said that, then was a different story, because when I said what happened to my experience to other people, I was telling them that exact thing. Oh, I heard this beeping sound when I thought it sounded like a UFO. Beep, 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 beep. Not sound like a UFO, but it could have been a UFO, because I didn't really see. The blinds were closed, and I was still asleep. And not asleep, but awake with my eyes open, except I wasn't moving. But this is the catchy part. This is the freaky part here. This is what makes this thing authentic, in my opinion, okay? Not the sound so much. Sure, it was digital. I can't explain who would be making this sound in this neighborhood. Not even a car can produce this kind of sound. A truck can produce it by backing up, like I said. Beep, 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 sure, but the in-between noise sound like a fax machine clearly, and no car will be producing that kind of sound. And there's no car in my backyard to begin with. It's grass, so, and there's a tree blocking the going to the backyard. So anyways, I would call the police if there was a car backing up on my backyard. I hope you understand. So but what happened here, that is a key fact that kind of I didn't stress enough about before. Maybe I did, but let me talk about this again, because this is the important part. This craft or whatnot, this sound, I shouldn't say craft, I just say whatnot at the moment. is the sound. At least I can say it's a sound because that's all I heard. I didn't see anything. So the sound was coming closer and further away from the window. And it happened 2 times. And right away I caught on to this, that it's coming closer and away from the window. Right away, my mind says, okay, this thing is moving. And not just that, I was keeping my ears open big time if this thing is going to come back the 3rd time. But I can slowly hear it fading away in the distance, and that was the end of that. So it came closer and further away 2 times. It was good enough to tell me that this thing was movable, okay? So, whatever it was in the air, it sounded digital, electronic-like, and there's a lot of documentation about this beeping UFO, so that was good enough, especially after Steven Greer's video. Honestly, that was pretty much all that I can tie in those 3 facts: the sound, the moving away and getting closer to the window, and Steven Greer video, a lady saying about hearing these beeping UFOs. And those 3 things are pretty much what makes this story interesting to me. And I did look it up, and I found a lot of information regarding this. So it could not possibly be a dream or whatnot, but I really think this was authentic, okay? I was 100% too, because I told other people about this, and I was telling them it must have been a UFO without even knowing the facts, without even looking up on the net that there's a lot of people who have heard this beeping sound around the UFOs. And the beeping noise is the actual talk, rather than the actual UFOs in some stories. But this happened to another lady here in Canada, which was a big story about this UFO that was making beeping sound. And so again, are these UFOs from Canada, somewhere here? So, this all kind of ties in together, right? So again, if you have something like this has happened to you, and maybe you're looking on YouTube about beeping UFOs, you're going to come across a few videos. But, in order for us to get kind of awareness going here, I need you to kind of comment below or add some information below that you perhaps heard something like this that happened to you. That way we can kind of catch these guys, okay? If you are keeping it in and you're not telling anybody about it, then it's good as not knowing about it. Nobody will know about it. And that's pretty much what I would like to talk about. But wait, this is one more thing. I have a reason to believe that perhaps this alien force, because this happened prior to my channel when I started it. I mean, is this a coincidence or what? I mean, are aliens going to do something like that to me just when I started a channel? And I didn't start a channel because of this beeping UFO. I'm quite sure that it happened right before the channel or somewhere in between, but what's interesting about this, why would this be happening just somewhere at the beginning of my channel, which was about 3 months ago or so? Why now? I mean, I've seen orbs before. If you want to read more about this situation that I had with orbs, please check out my blog at blogtornado.com. In UFO section, there's UFO and orb phenomena. There's my article there that I talk about my experience with orbs. But in a long time, nothing has happened to me ever since. But I've been hunting down the truth as much as possible, as you can judge from my channel. The fact is that this happened to me now after so many years, and that happened to me about 35 years ago. But now suddenly this, just when I'm starting this channel, just somewhere in the beginning of it, suddenly this UFO experience with this beeping UFO comes in, which is so strange to me. I don't know, it kind of makes me think, are the aliens actually watching? What am I doing? Are they watching me? How do they know that I just started my channel about UFOs? Did they give me a signal or some sort? Are they testing me? What am I going to say to the public after all this? What happened? Are they doing some sort of experiment? First of all, I don't think so. First of all, I'm not going to even call them extraterrestrial. I'm just going to call them these guys from space. Are these guys actually are smart enough to know what's going on? Are they testing us in a way that, like, they think like somewhat like humans, like just like we would. Let's put something here, let's do something there. and see how the people are going to react. It's possible, because this UFO thing situation, I mean, how can it be coincidence? I mean, I don't understand that part. How can that be, actually? But I have a clear thinking in my head that they could be actually telling me something just prior to starting my channel, that they know about this, because this UFO just came out of nowhere just when I'm starting my channel. Why would this be like that? So I have a reason to believe that they perhaps see the future or know something about this, about my channel, or even possibly watching it as I'm talking about them. And again, I'm thinking these guys are just space guys, like kind of cool guys, except they don't want to reveal themselves because, military would be all over them, and that's the reason they don't want to talk, you know what I mean? But they're probably thinking, okay, well, let's see what happens if we do this to him. Why would he talk about this to other people? Would he be making a video about it like I am now? And maybe they're thinking like that, like kind of in a human way, So because these two situations, as far as my channel and this UFO, suddenly just sort of don't add up to me. It's just like too strange to think about it. Why did this happen right now? At the beginning of my channel about 2-3 months ago. This is crazy. Was this some sort of symbol, a sign that they're watching me, that they know what I'm gonna do? I'm talking about aliens here, right? So these cool guys from space probably wonder, like, what am I gonna say, if you're perhaps somebody who has this kind of experience yourself, that somebody's watching you perhaps when maybe something strange is happening, that you're being watched, because I have read some comments on some other channels, people are reporting something like being watched or something like that. So in this situation, I would like to talk about it, if it happened to you, because something like this, I believe, is happening to me right now. So I'm pretty sure they know about my channel, because I'm talking about UFOs. Why would they be suddenly coming close to my window? That is the question. And another strange thing is that my neighbor's car, he just bought this sport truck, okay? But this happened afterwards, okay? So maybe this happened recently, about 2 weeks ago, okay? This incident with UFO, so don't confuse them with the truck backing up or anything. Although he has a truck, I understand that. But anyways, again, this was coming closer to my window and away from my window, which is impossible. And again, it was picking up a lot of metal. It sounded like a rusty old metal, okay? It was picking up metal, and it was loud all over the neighborhood. So I don't know if anybody noticed that, but picking this metal up around the neighborhood and then dropping it down, it sounded like a rusty metal. It seems like as if it was looking for metal, or looking for something, at least, by picking it up and dropping it down. And I can hear some squeaky gates and stuff like that. That sounded like something from a horror movie. But that was something that was suspicious to me as well. But anyway, he bought another truck. He replaced his old one with a sport truck. But what's so strange about this is lately, I haven't spoke to him ever since. He just kind of disappeared. His truck, it's a brand new truck, okay, but it's just sitting there. It's not moving. He parked it there, and now, like, he's just disappeared. So I don't know what really is going on, but at some point maybe I should ask, because I don't see him that often. But this is strange to me that he hasn't driven his truck. He did drive it at the beginning, but suddenly he just stopped driving it for like 3-4 weeks now almost. He just out on a cold, and when it's wintertime, you're going to want to warm up your car, but in his case he just left it there. So I don't know, maybe something strange has happened. And I'm thinking actually that I'm going to set up some cameras right out on my backyard, which I do have, and I forgot to mention last time, I do have a camera outside. I don't have the password to get in, and that's the problem. I can't get into the password, and I have to call the company, etc., etc. So this thing is good enough for like a couple of months, so the data should still be there. But actually the camera is pointing not directly on the backyard, but sort of on the side, because when you come around the corner I can see what's going on, but it's not pointing towards the backyard, which I think where it should be. But anyways, if I do get password somehow, then I'd like to see what happened. I forgot the password. I changed it a long time ago, and then I never was able to get into my my security camera here. So yeah, that's something strange. Again, I don't know what happened to my neighbor. He's just not driving his car. Something happened to him. It's just a little bit unusual that he just disappeared. And I have to talk about this. So again, if this has happened to you, something similar that's happened to you, you've heard any kind of beeping sound, but you didn't see the UFO like it happened to me, only the beeping sound, and you think it was strange in some ways, because there's a lot of reports about beeping sounds around this craft, around this UFOs, okay? Even Steven Greer talks about this beeping sound that UFOs are making, and you know, it's something to take in consideration, right? Especially in my case, I do. So you probably come across this channel on YouTube, and this probably happened to you. To make this awareness bigger, to spread it out further to other people, let's make this a meeting point here, and I would encourage you to leave some comments below if they're authentic, okay, please. So if you have authentic comment and it's somewhat similar to what I'm talking about today, please leave it below, and let's try to catch these cool guys from space, okay? So that's about it that I wanted to talk about. I have to make this video again because it's only setting in now, and the reality is starting to set in, and talking about something like this is very important on my channel, especially because I'm talking about UFOs, so you must understand why I'm talking about this again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, and please check out some of my other videos regarding Diatlo Pass that I just made, because of one simple video that ties in the orb phenomena with Diatlo Pass that happened in 1959. And I think orbs are responsible for this, and I can't see any other options here, because look, let me explain. It's better for you to watch my video, Diatlo Pass Decoded. But what really happened here, there's two things that happened that I didn't mention before. First of all, we're talking about presence of orbs, which they talk about that people seen it around the Diatlo Pass. You have to understand that was not me. They talk about seeing lights in the sky, something I have experienced. You can read more about it in blogtornado.com. So the orbs were present. It's a fact. And another thing is here, okay, this story has been unexplainable for so many years, 61 years already, and nobody is able to figure out some definite answers. Although Lev Ivanov actually made a good point there. He was somebody at the scene when this happened, and he talks about these orbs being responsible, and I think he's on the right track, except he's missing one vital information here that someone else talks about from States that happened to them, and this story ties in with orbs, but you want to read more about it yourself. So listen to Diatlo Pass all the way through to understand what happened. And again, what I meant was to say those orbs were present, and not just that, but something strange happened. So now you got two things, okay? Something strange happened, and there's no definite answer for that, and at the same time people are seeing these strange orbs in the sky. So you have two strange things, so you have to connect them together, basically, okay? So that makes sense, right? They have to be related because they're just strange events. And okay, the orbs are strange, nobody ever seen them before, people can't explain them. And this incidents nobody can explain. Some radiation was present, and in some cases people's skin turned orange, okay? So you have to understand that those two things were present at that time, and they have to go together well, okay? So, you know, if it was a bear or a Yeti or Bigfoot, I don't know why there is a radiation present in someone's clothes. But the fact is that there were orbs, which they look like some plasma balls. They will definitely have some kind of possibility of the radiation in them, right? Again, check out Diatlo Pass Decoded, Orbs Decoded, my video there, and that will, I think, answer it for once and for all, okay? So anyways, thank you for watching this video all the way here. And again, please come back to see what's going on. I make videos every day, every second day, every third day. And that's pretty much all. And again, don't forget to give it a thumbs up or subscribe here at the bottom right. That will be much appreciated. And I will see you next time. Cheers. Peace.